We are AlmaLinux.
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 All right, this is what happens when you forget to hit the go live button. Hello world, hello everybody around the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Jack Abutbul, AlmaLinux Community Manager, coming to you live from less than sunny South Florida here at the AlmaLinux Launch Center, right down the block from NASA. Guys, we have an action-packed hour for you here today. We have lots of guests. We have a release that we're gonna do when everything is said and done. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So the agenda for today, we're going to meet the team behind the magic, our lovely AlmaLinux team. We're going to hear some words from Igor Solitsky, the CEO of Cloud Linux, who's really, all this is his brainchild, and he'll give us some words of encouragement, and he'll also talk about some updates on some very important things that we have for you today. You're going to hear from engineers, you're going to hear from partners, you're going to hear from members of the board. You're going to hear from community members as well. We're going to talk a little bit with one of my good friends, Jesse from Cpanel. And we know a lot of people are here and are very interested in Cpanel. We have visionaries from the open source community. We're going to talk a little bit about bits with some guys from ARM and from Packet, Equinix Metal. Everyone wants t-shirts. I didn't even get my t-shirt. You're going to find out how to get your t-shirts and all your other swag. We're going to do some Q&A, and then we're going to have a countdown to the release. So hello, everybody. Welcome. Let's jump right into it. If you're here, you're already on either YouTube or Twitch. We're also on Facebook Live if you want to see us there. If anybody wants to join us on Twitter, send us any comments, any feedback. Use hashtag AlmaLinuxOS to post. And for everyone who participated in the We Are AlmaLinux video campaign, we'll be sending out your t-shirts soon. So thank you guys so much, and let's get right into it. So what are we here to do? So our mission is to deliver a forever free distro built jointly by the team at Cloud Linux and the community, which is governed by the community. This is not a corporate venture. I think that's very important for us to state. And I think that you'll hear a lot more about that today. This is a community effort. We have an announcement about this. Everyone will be very happy. What is AlmaLinux? If you're joining us or hearing about this for the first time today, we're a one-to-one binary compatible fork of RHEL. We're built by Cloud Linux, who has Cloud Linux OS as a product, which is a very popular distribution in the hosting space and amongst other verticals. So without further ado, let me bring on some of my teammates here. Lera, how are you? Igor, Joao,
Hey.
Sasha.
Hello.
Eugene, who's camera shy. How are you guys?
Perfect.
Right.
Happy to be here and share the exciting announcements with you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So, guys, we're getting comments. I see people from Japan, Vietnam, Germany, Detroit. This is Hungary. United States, UK, guys, this is crazy. Okay, this is crazy. We're very happy. We're very excited to be here. Let's introduce everyone. I got to go to Igor first. Igor, you're the main man. You're the one that made all this happen. Hi, Igor. How are you?
Good to be here.
Thank you so much for making this all possible. One of my favorite people in the world, Sasha. Hi, Sasha. The website, all this stuff related to the social media posts. She's coordinating everything. She's amazing. She's running the shop. If you guys want goodies, she's the person to talk to. Lera really helps. Valeria, I should say. We call her Lera. She's also one of the marketing specialists on the team. She helps us out with a ton of stuff. Hello. We have my partner in crime, Joao. Hi, Joao, all the way from Portugal. How are you?
All good, Jack. Happy to be here.
Thank you for being here with me. And of course, the person that I just love tremendously, last but not least, Eugene. Eugene, how are you all the way from Russia?
Oh, I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to launch this product finally.
Awesome. So thank you guys for being here. We really put a tremendous amount of effort both into the release itself, into the community, and also into all this, putting this together. And I just really wanted to thank everyone on our team first and foremost. And we're just going to jump right into Igor's interview. So Igor pre-recorded some comments, which we're going to go through right now. And Igor, thank you very much.
Hello everyone. Today we are fulfilling our goal of delivering a stable version of AlmaLinux OS in Q1 of 2021. It has been a short but very intense process, and I would like to share with you an overview of the project. The idea for AlmaLinux OS formed as soon as Red Hat made its announcement for CentOS change of direction. From our years of experience and the knowledge of our customers' needs and workflows, we knew that a void has been created and that we were ideally positioned to fill it. We have, after all, many years of experience in creating a fully functional, proven and liked core of our hell in the form of Cloud Linux OS. More than 4,000 companies rely on Cloud Linux products with over 500,000 installations. We have proven that we can create and maintain such a distribution, and we will continue to do so now also with AlmaLinux OS. The target for AlmaLinux OS is broader. Just like CentOS was used for general purpose computing, embedded HPC and multitude of other workflows, so will AlmaLinux OS. We envision it as a perfect replacement for any situation where a stable, reliable distribution with a long life cycle is needed. And we want to do it with you. We realize that the AlmaLinux OS project can grow only with its community. We want to empower you and be empowered by you to build the best Linux distribution possible. It's the community that is ultimately the soul of the distribution. To show our commitment, we plan to invest $1 million a year in the development and popularization of AlmaLinux OS and its ecosystem. This alone guarantees the financial stability of the project for years to come. But we want to go further, to ensure this is not just our distribution, to show that this is our way of empowering the community and not just a corporate maneuver that can end up like CentOS did. We're also announcing the establishment of the 501c6 nonprofit, the AlmaLinux OS Foundation, which will shape the future path of AlmaLinux OS. All the trademarks, copyrights, keys, and other IP related to AlmaLinux OS are transferred to the AlmaLinux OS Foundation, making it nearly impossible for anyone like IBM to buy it. It will have a governing board, some of whose members we will be announcing today, as further evidence that we truly want this to be a community effort. I want to make sure that everyone understands that AlmaLinux OS Foundation, as of now, is a non-profit entity made to develop AlmaLinux OS and promote and grow the AlmaLinux community. We understand that everyone is still feeling deceived by Red Hat's decision, and that has left a sour taste that is tough to erase. Let me personally assure you that this is not the case with AlmaLinux OS. From the start, From the very first internal meeting we had a very clear goal. This would either succeed as community first distribution or not at all. We have already incorporated many suggestions from the community, including extra packages for high availability that are not present in CentOS. We have published errata, something highly requested and never provided by CentOS. So far, we have received priceless feedback from the community, many contributions to the code, and a lot of mirror maintainers stepped in to provide more than 50 AlmaLinux mirrors around the world. It has been truly a community effort. At CloudLinux, we have made decision that if we ever were to stray from AlmaLinux as a community goal, the community should always be in a position to carry on with AlmaLinux OS. We are already sharing the source code for many tools and parts of the projects, like the migration script on our GitHub repositories. We will also be opening and sharing our tooling and build processes in the coming weeks. We will continue to support AlmaLinux OS through 2029 at least. This means that you can depend on AlmaLinux OS as your stable platform for years to come, with the certainty that no one will pull the rug from under your feet and leave you scrambling for solutions. We are making AlmaLinux OS a truly general purpose OS fit for any environment. To promote AlmaLinux OS usage in secure environments, we are working on certifications like CIS and Phipps. Where you want a stable environment, AlmaLinux OS has you covered as a solid or health fork. If you need years upon years of lifespan for AlmaLinux OS has a decade-long life cycle. If you already have CentOS 8 deployed, we have released the migration script you can use to quickly migrate to AlmaLinux OS. In fact, you can deploy the script using tools like Chef, Puppet, or Ansible to migrate your whole fleet quickly and without disruption. Today is the start of stable AlmaLinux OS availability. I would like to thank the team behind the development who worked tirelessly to deliver it to this point, all the community members who contributed so far and who I hope will continue to do so in the future. Thank you all. We at CloudLinux hope you will find AlmaLinux OS useful and rely on it going forward.
All right. So, Igor, thank you so much for those words. Really, that was a loaded announcement. Obviously, we have the formation of the nonprofit organization, which is something that people were very eager to learn about. Again, this is we're trying to learn from the mistakes of the past. No one entity can take this over. This is belongs to the people. We're putting out the release. We're putting out errata, which is something that was never available on other distributions. Really just a ton going on. And Igor, thank you so much for your words, and we'll check back in with you a little bit later on when we do the Q&A.
Thank you.
Thanks, Igor. All right, so we want to thank CloudLinux, who are the sponsors of AlmaLinux and this event as well. Great product. You guys should go to cloudlinux.com. Extended lifecycle support for out-of-support Linux distributions, kernel care, which is a live patching product for both kernel and certain libraries. Guys, if you want to maintain your uptime on your servers and your services, it's a great product to look into. And also Immunify, if you're looking for security, look into Immunify. So again, cloudlinux.com. Thank you guys so much. And thanks CloudLinux for being really the sponsor of all this. So a lot of people don't really realize how much work goes into putting a distribution like this together. There's really thousands of packages and so much work that needs to be done. I got a chance to catch up with Eugene Zamri, who is our director of release engineering, and his team to talk a little bit about number one, how much work went into this. There were tons of sleepless nights, and also what it was like to manage this from both the technical end, the human end, and what we're releasing to the community today. All right, everyone. So now for some meat and potatoes. I think most people don't know how much effort goes into building a distribution of this size. It's really a monumental amount of work. There have been many sleepless nights. I'd like to bring on Eugene Zamri, our Director of Release Engineering. Hi, Eugene. How are you?
Hello, everyone. I'm fine, thanks. It's a good day today.
Yeah, definitely a good day. And then let's bring on some of the other team members. Hi, Dasha. Hi, Andre. How are you?
Hi, fine, thank you.
Fine, thanks.
Hey, guys. So let's talk a little bit about what it takes to put something like this together. It's really a great amount of work. Andre, do you want to start by telling us about some of the work that you've been doing?
Yes, sure. Here is some numbers, and especially tricky part was changed the brand packages, so somehow patched packages, because the branding can be really hard. It's not just changing some strings, for example, but sometimes it really takes a huge amount of time to produce a really big patch. So, for example, bug tracking integration, or somehow change the path on file system to fit AlmaLinux needs.
Yeah.
So yes, we really did a huge job to change it somehow, but we try to keep it as little as possible, or all changes as little as possible to ensure that we still are compatible.
Yeah, and then aside from the technical part, there's also a lot of people involved. So Dasha, you want to tell us a little bit? Dasha's our project coordinator. Hi, Dasha.
Hello. Yes, I was the project coordinator of AlmaLinux. We had a small core team, only 5 developers, but we involved a lot of people from different departments. I was responsible for coordinating work, communication, testing, and other things. It was a challenge, and I'm happy that I took part in the development of AlmaLinux.
Thank you so much, Dasha. So Eugene, tell us about what we're releasing today, man. That's what everyone is here for.
Yes, today we're releasing mostly actually, it's complete. It had 8 A3 revealed with everything needed, with ISO images, with all repositories present. We also prepared a migration script, which will convert CentOS or Oracle's Linux systems to AlmaLinux. We have mirrors set up. We prepared some cloud images. We started to work on open sourcing our toolchain, like Ansible collection, some tests. We also prepared Docker images, so you can give it a try.
Great, and so let's talk a little bit about the future. A lot of people are asking about ARM, about secure boot. What's going on?
There's a lot of work to be done. In the nearest future, we want to complete secure boot support because we know it's very important. We also started work on ARM architecture support, and I hope in this quarter we will have a beta version. We also want to improve our cloud presence. We want to build images for all popular cloud providers like AWS, Equinix Metal, Google Cloud, Azure, and so on. And of course, we want to cooperate with all vendors, hardware and software vendors, to make AlmaLinux distribution certified.
Absolutely. And let's talk a little bit about, the next RHEL release comes out. What are we doing for that?
Oh, of course, we need to complete overall data support so that tools like OpenSCAP can work properly. We want to start, and we will start this work on AlmaLinux 8.4 as soon as Red Hat is out. And we want to open source all our testing and build tool chains related to AlmaLinux pipeline so that everyone can participate in development and testing and use our products for your needs.
Yeah, that's a really big one. So we really are committed to opening everything up to everyone. It's a work in progress, but we want to make sure that everyone can contribute every step of the way. And we're trying to make that a reality over the next few months. And guys, thank you so much. It was really a tremendous amount of work. I know I was up many times talking to Eugene when it was 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning for him. And I'm sure that, he was coordinating with everyone else. So really, guys, thank you so much for all your work. And thanks for being with us today.
Thanks, Jack.
Thanks, guys. All right, and we're back. Great. So thank you, Eugene and team. Really was a monumental effort, and you guys will get to see the efforts of that momentarily. Right now, what we want to do is bring on one of our guests. We're going to talk to Jesse Asplund of Cpanel. Jesse, where are you? Hey, Jesse.
How's it going?
All right, good. So obviously Cpanel, very important to our community, very important to many people. A lot of people that were running Cpanel were running on CentOS. Jesse, tell us a little about yourself and tell us a little bit about what we can expect.
Yeah, sure. So I've personally been with Cpanel for roughly 14 years now. I guess I could say most of my professional career has been involved with hosting in some form or aspect. Naturally, cling to working with customers and solving problems and things like that. I've loved every minute of working at Cpanel and WebPro as extension from that now. And some of the things that you can expect, or you've already seen some announcements from our marketing team, is full support for AlmaLinux. And you're likely to start seeing that come from other brands within WebPro, such as Plesk, in the near future too.
Awesome. And why did you guys decide to move away from CentOS Stream? Yeah,
so I mean that's a very good question, and I think the first most obvious answer is kind of the abruptness of the announcement of the shift and change with CentOS choosing to go to the CentOS Stream setup, and leaving people, as you mentioned earlier in the stream, to scramble to figure out what they're going to do long term and maybe even short term, especially depending on which version of CentOS they're on. We took this back and kind of assessed what our options were and talked with Igor and things like that, and we determined that AlmaLinux would be probably the best bet and the most logical next step for us.
And so what makes you confident in Alma? Obviously, there are many other options floating around. What makes you confident in this?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a great relationship with the Cloud Linux team. Igor always been involved with communication between us. I think that's a first point to make is we've always had a great relationship, both professionally and outside of work and things like that. And then further from that, the speed in which they operate, how fast AlmaLinux is coming to market and stuff like that to be available to the community. I think that's been one of the big factors in the whole thing, and then the confidence that we have in the relationship that we've built over the years.
Awesome, and likewise, we're very grateful to be partners with you guys. We do have a long-standing relationship, and we hope to keep that going. So, what can you tell us about the future? What the future holds for the guys at Cpanel Web Pros?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're going to continue to iterate on our AlmaLinux support. We obviously, as fast as you guys have come to production, we had to equally do a lot of work internally to get that to happen and get a good release out. So we'll continue to iterate on that to ensure that it's stable moving forward. You'll further from that, you'll also see Plesk start to support AlmaLinux as well in the near future, and hopefully to have a very good working relationship moving forward.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jesse. And we look forward to continuing to work with you guys very closely.
Thanks, Jack. I appreciate it.
Awesome. And guys, of course, Cpanel is one of the sponsors of all this as well. Check them out if you're running hosting projects, infrastructure. They're really the go-to company to be working with. Thank you so much, Jesse.
Thanks, Jack.
All right. So let me bring on my good partner over here, Joao. Joao, how are you?
All good, Jack. Very happy to be here today.
Awesome. It's awesome to be here with you and with the community. We got a chance to catch up with some community members.
Yes.
Joao, let's roll some video. We asked you guys on some of the different social channels that we were looking for people to talk here. We actually found a nice couple of surprises, and I guess we'll just roll straight into it. I think, Joao, we spoke with Rory first, correct?
Yes, that's
All
right.
Let's go to the video.
On this announcement day. So tell us a bit about yourself. How did you come to the Linux side of things?
All right, hi. Thank you for having me. I've been involved with Linux for quite a long road now. Got involved through my father, who was quite heavy into Unix back in the day. And I really got into it when Ubuntu came onto the scene, and eventually migrated to being a Debian pre-installed partner.
Mm-hmm.
And a friend introduced me to CentOS one day. Never looked back. And now we offer it across the board in all our services.
Nice. So how did the CentOS announcement affected you?
It was a shock, but not a surprise. It was a shock that they did it so soon. I mean, as you know, if you're not buying a product, you are the product.
Yes.
And a lot of our clients were quite shaken up about it.
Yeah, we can imagine lots of people were annoyed by that. So what's your use case for AlmaLinux? Do you use it privately? Do you use it in the enterprise?
Both. We definitely use it both, especially for our client deployments for hosting.
Mm-hmm. So which versions of AlmaLinux have you tested so far? The beta, the release candidate?
All of them. Yeah, all of them. Having fun with everyone.
Nice. Has it been smooth?
Unbelievably so. Actually, surprisingly so.
That's our goal as well. So tell us a bit about yourself and your projects. About especially the Dark Knight project that you posted some pictures about it. That was pretty interesting. It was one of the first projects that we got pictures from running AlmaLinux.
Oh yeah. I have a couple of Sophos XGs lying around. And decided, got tired of the white color and was going to spray paint it, with any little IT hack. Thought I'd put an operating system on, see if I could do it. And AlmaLinux was my go-to at the time.
And did you have any problems getting it to run at all? Did you have to mess something up, or did it just straight up boot it and run?
Straight up. It was actually easier to get on than CentOS. I tried later. It was very smooth.
Nice.
I didn't have to do too much apart from getting the drive to work with it. But yeah, it was fun.
And how have you contributed so far? Have you had the chance to report any bugs, to provide any feedback, any suggestions that you want to see in the product?
More on the suggestion side, really keen to see integration with Ansible. It's like Ansible AWX and that, because automation is the way a lot of us are going. And I think it'll be a good little market to get into.
Yeah, we are actually expected to have Ansible integration coming pretty soon on one of the next Ansible versions. They have already added the code. So yeah, expect to see that in the future.
Excellent.
So nice to see. So it's been living up to your expectations, right?
Very much so.
Nice. That's what we hope. Thank you very much for joining us and for having this short chat with us. We appreciate it very much. We hope you enjoy AlmaLinux and enjoy the rest of the announcements of today. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Good luck with your launch.
Thanks.
All right, and we're back. Joao had a huge smile when we were playing that, and I just want to point it out. I think, guys, it's very important to remember This is not about any one person or any one organization. This is about the community. This is why we wanted to hear from people in the community, why we wanted to involve the community. This is really a global community effort. And, we can see the first fruits of that here today. So we went plunging the depths of social media to find contributors. And we actually found a community member who's fairly well known. I think if you guys are YouTubers, you may be familiar with Jay LaCroix from Learn Linux TV. He's definitely one of our favorite community members, and he actually recorded some remarks as well, just about everything that's going on and why he's very, very excited to be part of the project.
Hi, my name is Jay, and you've probably seen me on the popular YouTube channel Learn Linux TV. And if you haven't seen that channel yet, then you really should, because it's awesome, if I do say so myself. But I'm not here as that guy from YouTube. I'm actually here as a member of the Linux community and a fan of Linux. Today marks the beginning of the AlmaLinux project as a stable product that you can install on your computer, server, VPS, or whatever else you cool kids are installing Linux on nowadays. And it's easy to pass off the news and think that there's another distribution to keep track of. But creating a distribution is so much more than that. It's a huge task, a huge undertaking. Some distributions have come and gone before they've even reached the first release of their distro. As an example, there were no fewer than 2 forks of Ubuntu with Unity after Canonical has switched that distribution over to GNOME. And where are those distributions now? Well, honestly, if someone knows, please let me know. I was really looking forward to those. But getting a distribution off the ground is hard. It's a monumental task. It takes a team of passionate people to make something like that happen. And the stable release of AlmaLinux is an example of that. But this is more than just a first stable release. More on that later. In the Linux community, distribution maintainers and users are united by the fact that we all love Linux. And we all want to do the right thing. But more importantly, we're strong. We've survived patent lawsuits, fear, uncertainty, and doubt directed towards us by big companies. And now we've survived a curveball thrown at us when we found out about the new direction for CentOS. And I'm not going to use this opportunity to disparage, IBM or Red Hat. They had decisions to make, and they made the decisions that they felt were necessary to make for their trademarks and their products. Now, we could handle this news in one of 2 ways. We could complain. We could write hate mail directed towards the responsible parties, and we could tell them how much we hate the decision that they've made, and maybe even how it puts our business at a disadvantage. We could complain on Facebook or in a user group, and while it's important for us as human beings to express ourselves, that's not the best way. That's not the open source way. And that's not the community way. We in the Linux community, we have an interesting weapon we can use to combat any situation that brings us anxiety, whether real or perceived. We use innovation as a weapon. We decide to answer the situation by bringing the best of us together, coders, documentation writers, kernel experts, user interface designers, fans, and so on. And we create something new out of this situation. We saw this with OpenOffice, which had a situation a long time ago that resulted in LibreOffice, which some people can argue is far superior to the original. And now we have AlmaLinux, born from the same passion as in CentOS. The team got together, they released a new product, a new distribution. And not just any new distribution, a distribution born from creativity, expertise, and most of all, passion. Now, I mentioned earlier that AlmaLinux is more than just a first stable release of a distribution. And don't get me wrong, that's an amazing accomplishment of and by itself. For a team of people to get together and create an entire distribution in such a small amount of time, that's truly amazing. But what's even more important is the fact that AlmaLinux represents something very special. It represents the passion and resolve of an entire community. That faced with a potentially stressful change, the answer was to build something for the benefit of the entire community, not just to benefit one individual or just one company. Something was created, and it was placed into the community for the community to use and for the community to be a part of. Again, I don't want to insult or disparage IBM or Red Hat in any way. Those are companies, and they have to make company decisions. And to give them the benefit of the doubt, perhaps they honestly felt that the decision that they've made to steer CentOS in a completely new direction was the best decision for them. But many of us in the Linux community, we feel that that was a decision that works against us more than it benefits us. And the answer to the situation is not just a new Linux distribution. AlmaLinux is much more than that. It's a statement. Companies can and will steer their products in a direction that aligns with their business goals. And it's within their right to do so. But the release of AlmaLinux, like I mentioned, is a statement that if a company takes a project, such as CentOS, into a direction that does not resonate with the community will take matters into their own hands and create a product, an open source product, that continues to serve the best interests of the community and not companies. And companies will continue to serve the needs of their shareholders, and people in our neck of the woods will continue to serve the community. And that brings me back to AlmaLinux. This is more than just a new distribution. It's the embodiment of the community and their resolve, their passion. So congratulations to the AlmaLinux project and all of the people that worked hard to make this stable release happen. Enjoy the success, guys. You've earned it, and you have set a great example for the entire community. Congratulations.
All right, Jay, thank you so much. That was, wow, that was amazing. So there's really so many ways to contribute. Joao, do you want to tell them all about the different ways they can get involved?
Sure. I just want to leave a very big shout out to the people who talked with us, who took the time to speak with us, to Rory, who I know is watching the stream right now, all the way to South Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rory.
And to Jay, who took the time from his busy schedule to send us this great message that we just saw. So if you want to find us on the different social media platforms, if you want to contribute, you can find us on IRC for all the neckbeards out there that still remember the old text mode conversation.
We love IRC.
We will have...
I want 100 people in the IRC channel later today.
We have the forum. I'm not sure if it's already open or not, but if it's not open immediately, it should be pretty soon. We have the Reddit community, which is the first gathering spot that we prepared for you guys. We have YouTube with the AlmaLinux handle, Twitter at AlmaLinux. We're on the other social platforms as well, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok. You can send us your bug reports on the bug tracker. It will automatically send them if you use the bug reporting tool inside AlmaLinux, but if you feel you have to prepare a manual report, you can do so on the platform as well. We have the wiki to which you can contribute. We have our open source tools already on GitHub. You can find the migration script there. You can find the Docker image scripts that we use. And Facebook, of course, everybody's on Facebook, so we couldn't exactly get away from it.
Awesome. Joao, thank you so much. Thanks for being a big part of
Thanks, Jack.
and a big part of what we do, and thank you for being here. Thanks. All right, so now let's talk about ARM. All right, ARM is, let's not pull any punches. ARM is hot. Everyone wants to know what's going on with ARM. Raspberry Pis, data center servers, it's all going there. Fruit-named laptops, without naming any names. I have Ed Valmetti here. He's the developer relations guy for Equinix Metal, their metal. And hey, Ed, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
Awesome. So we want to let everyone know that we are working on the ARM release. It's our top priority. ARM is a first-class citizen for us. Ed, tell us a little bit, for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about the ARM architecture and why it's so important and really why it's so up and coming and so hot today.
So I've been working with ARM-based products since I got my first Raspberry Pi, and got introduced to the folks at Packet, which is now Equinix Metal. We got acquired about a year ago. When a friend of mine in the Pi community said, "Hey, you got to check these Packet folks out. They've got this server that has 96 cores in it." I'm thinking, "Damn, all right, that's
a lot of cores.
That's a lot of cores." So I've been working in the ARM ecosystem since late 2016. First at Packet and now for the last year at Equinix Metal. We run a program called Works on ARM, which provides infrastructure to the community for open source. So we provide resources for people doing kernel development for a bunch of languages, a bunch of operating systems, and libraries, both for porting, continuous integration, and optimization work. So it's a pretty extensive project. Total server count is about 125 plus or minus in the whole system. Some people you've heard of, some people you haven't. We try to work broadly across the ecosystem, not really pick any favorites. We want everyone's ARM-based project to succeed, especially ARM in the server data center.
Yeah, and really, I mean, ARM is becoming pretty ubiquitous. I mean, guys, it's in your Raspberry Pis, it's in your phones, it's in the data centers now. Linus himself said a while ago that he didn't think it would ever end up in the data center because of the lack of, personal workstations that ran ARM. And as we know, guys, Apple, all the notebooks, everything ARM, the tool chains are getting to the point where it's becoming like seamless deploy. Ed, doesn't that make you really, really excited?
Yeah, I mean, for a long time it was, is it going to work? Is it going to work? Is it going to work? And now, things just work. And not only do they work, but they work in a lot of ways better for the user to have a choice in their computing architecture. There's been a lot of innovation as little single board computers have grown up. So, the 8 gigabyte, Raspberry Pi shaped device. As you mentioned, the Apple laptops are world class, and the servers that we're providing these days, the newest ones from Ampere Computing, are just top notch. Some of these systems have 80 or 160 cores. They're peppy cores. So they compile things right, and just really excited to get the latest generation of developers access to the latest generation of hardware.
Someone posted like a top screenshot or from like one of the Ampere servers on Twitter with like all the cores and all the memory.
All the cores.
Yeah,
every single one of the cores. Yeah, it's the latest servers are at 160 cores on 2 sockets, 80 cores per socket. Those people need to be taught a little bit about NUMA. Not everyone knows about NUMA, but they'll learn if they're on those sorts of systems to optimize them. So it's just really exciting. I've been around the internet community since the mid 1980s, and I remember when Linux first came out on these toy, Intel machines that people thought were really nothing, and now I see the same sort of potential for transformational moments in the ARM ecosystem, where the toy computers grow up and they get real boot environments and real operating systems, and they just work.
Yeah, and I mean, guys, no matter what you're running, 160 cores using probably like a quarter to a third of the power. I mean, you got to give it up for the guys that are developing this stuff. And, I really want to personally thank Ed, who's been very instrumental in supporting us and helping to sponsor the ARM development. So guys, look for that really, really soon. We will be releasing, I'm sure, betas, several betas for everyone to play with. You know, whether you have an Ampere server, you have a Raspberry Pi, a solid run board, anything in between, you know, it's coming down the pipe. So Ed, thank you so much for being here. And thank you for all your help sponsoring the development efforts on this part of the project.
Very, very happy to be a part of it. And you know, if you need equipment, just let us know, and we'll work something out.
Awesome. Thank you, Ed. Thanks. Now, I mean, you know, that it's pretty amazing. We've made partnerships and struck, you know, agreements to work with some of the top name companies out there. We want to thank Ampere Computing because they are, of course, helping to sponsor the efforts on the development with some of their servers. You know, there are a lot of companies and a lot of different balls being juggled trying to make this all happen, and they're really a big part of this as well. And of course, we want to thank Equinix and Equinix Metal for all they do. We forgot to mention, I should bring Ed right back on. Ed, bare metal provisioning, Tinkerbell. I'll give you a minute.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Tinkerbell, go. So Tinkerbell is our bare metal provisioning tool. We donated the project to the Cloud Native Computing Foundation. It's in sandbox mode right now. The idea is that you can stream an image right to your bare metal server through our flexible and powerful provisioning tool. And our goal is to make setting up a bare metal machine as fast as booting a VM, plus or minus a little bit. And just really excited we got the first version of AlmaLinux up and running with that yesterday, and just really excited to have that part of our stable. You know, at Equinix Metal, we don't pick operating systems; our customers pick them, and we're really happy to give people stable and quality choices to pick from.
Awesome, guys. Ed, thank you so much. Check out Equinix Metal for all your bare metal hosting needs, and also GitHub, search Tinkerbell, and you'll see the tool that Ed was just talking about. Ed, thank you so much for being with us.
Take care. Thanks.
All right. So now, joining the AlmaLinux community board is Simon Phipps. Many people may know Simon from the Open Source Initiative. He's really a visionary in the open source world. He'll be joining the board as a neutral, you know, a neutral seat at the table. We're trying to learn from the mistakes of the past. Simon, good afternoon. How are you? All the way from the UK.
Good afternoon. You'll see I've got rid of the neck beard as well from the photograph.
Yeah, right. Those days are long gone.
No, yeah, it's out of fashion now, neck beards.
Absolutely. Well, it depends on what part of the world you're in, but I'm still trying to get mine. But so Simon, tell us a little bit about you know, open source governance. Very tricky, very thorny subject, especially in the last few days with all the stuff that's been going on. I'm not going to get into it right here because this is not the right place to get into it. But you know, tell us a little bit about it. What your expertise over all these years has kind of taught you, and why you've decided to join the board here today.
Right. Well, the deal here is that it seemed inevitable to me that once there was a space in the market for a downstream of RHEL, that some operating system distribution would move into that space. And so when Igor told me that he was working on AlmaLinux, I was very keen to do what I could to try and help it be anchored in the community rather than potentially moving into a corporation like many of its predecessors had. Now, starting a nonprofit foundation is much more complicated than you think it is. There has been plenty of people who have casually gone into saying they're going to start a nonprofit foundation and discovering that it's more complicated than it looks. And when you start an organization and you say it's going to be community powered, community led, there are all sorts of pitfalls you can fall into. You can end up with an organization that can be hijacked by somebody else's business agenda or somebody else's activism agenda. you can find yourself in a position where the sponsoring company doesn't necessarily put all of the assets into the foundation, like happened with MariaDB.
Right.
And so,
which is what got us here in the first place.
Yeah, so I'm very keen indeed to try and make sure that AlmaLinux Foundation is one where, as promised, all the assets go into the foundation and are under the community control, where the governance can be fair to the contributors. So that's one of the reasons that we're starting out making it a 501c6, which is a kind of a trade association flavored not-for-profit. If it seems in the future that it would be smarter to make that a C3, a public charity style nonprofit, we'll probably head in that direction. But it's much easier to start with a C6 and head towards a C3 than to start with a C3. You can never un-C3 a C3 once it starts there. So we're going to learn from the lessons that I've picked up from, I was on the board of the Open Source Initiative for 10 years and helped to devise the governance that's now under. For good or for bad. Back in the day, I was on the Open Solaris governing board, which never made it to becoming a non-profit, and that was one of the reasons why it was pretty much snuffed out by the corporation that controlled the copyrights. And so there's all those lessons to learn from the past, and I'm really hopeful that we'll be able to make sure that the reliable, stable, compatible AlmaLinux is backed by a reliable, stable, well-governed, community-centric nonprofit.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I am personally very proud of is that we're seeing this combination of young, let's say not so young, more experienced community members joining as well. People that really have been through the gauntlet a few times and know how to go about doing things and know what the end goal is all about. So Simon, if you have anything else to say, I'll let you say it, but I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here and for being part of this project. I know that your involvement really lends us, a tremendous mind that we have to lean on when dealing with these sorts of issues.
Thank you. That's very generous, and I'll stay around for the Q&A in case anyone's got any questions in the chat about this. I did see some questions come up from good friends before, so I'm looking forward to hearing more.
Absolutely, Simon. Thank you so much. All right, moving along. Now I got to bring on one of my very favorite people. I know I say that a lot, but really, all people are my favorite people. But someone who sends you a headshot with confetti on top of their head. Yeah, I mean, you can't help but love them, right? Benny Vasquez, good morning. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Great, great. So for those of you who don't know, Benny is the manager of DevRel over at Chef. I think you guys actually might have changed the name a couple of times, but I'll let you correct that. And Benny's here to tell us all about the stuff that Chef has been doing to support AlmaLinux. And also, Benny is going to join the board as, again, another third party. So, hi, Benny. Good morning.
Good morning.
So,
yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing.
So we'll start with a little bit of backstory. So Chef has been an open source company for basically its entire life. In 2019, we open sourced all of our software. And in 2020, we actually ended up getting acquired by a company called Progress Software, which is what you were alluding to. The Chef at the time was about 13, I think 12 or 13 years old, and Progress is 40 years old. Yes. So it's a pretty big shift in terms of culture and that kind of stuff. But it's been interesting to watch Progress say they support open source and then kind of back it up with this kind of action, like letting me be part of this and adding community support for AlmaLinux so early in the process. Like that's kind of cool to watch.
Yeah, you guys really got in on the ground floor.
Yeah.
And I'm very glad to have you because I think you guys a lot of people use Chef. It's a very key part of the ecosystem. Mm-hmm. And just again, it shows that this is not only the community working in and of themselves. There's a lot of corporate interest, a lot of corporate involvement here to make things, what they need to be, and to make sure that, that the release is going to get out there, is going to have the backers, is going to have its use in the ecosystem, and that, the project has really landed. And Benny, so you guys are supporting Chef on the community end. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So community support essentially means that if you use AlmaLinux with Chef, you don't get like commercial support. You're not going to go to our support team. But what was amazing to me was watching the developers do the work. It ended up only being a single line of code that needed to be changed to add AlmaLinux support to Chef Infra. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be fine.
Well, it was only one line of code because we did all the heavy lifting for you guys.
Exactly.
Right? So exactly. So it's Benny, really great to have you here. Really great to have you part of this journey. And I really want to thank you again for giving us your time here. And, one line of code is hard to write, so go right back to doing it.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Benny.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, now, I know everybody wants their goodies. So do I. I didn't even get one yet. Let's go here. We're announcing the shop today. The shop is up. Sasha recorded a video for us to tell us all about it. Sasha, we love you. Here she goes.
Hello, everyone. This is Alexandra Mitroshkina, Head of Global Enterprise Marketing at CloudLinux. My team and I are responsible for emails with funny GIFs and other communications that you see online. We know that you've been waiting for the AlmaLinux merchandise shop since December last year, but we were busy preparing the AlmaLinux OS stable release and had to put this task on the bottom of our list. So today, I'm glad to announce that the AlmaLinux merchandise shop is live. For now, you can purchase t-shirts, sweatshirts, backpacks, stickers, and other goodies, and we will add more exclusive merchandise soon. You will find that the prices in our shop are very affordable, and we intend to keep them as low as possible and just enough to cover our processing expenses. Currently, you can make purchases via PayPal only, but more payment methods will be available soon. As we are already committed to investing $1 million per year into AlmaLinux OS, we will be sending all the profits of the merchandise shop to the Penguin Fund. Your purchase in AlmaLinux shop will fund various research, conservation, and education programs to protect and preserve Phipps Island's unique flora and fauna. In the future, we will organize community vote and swap the funds each quarter to distribute them equally to different charities. Now go ahead and order your AlmaLinux OS gear on shop.almalinux.org. We hope you enjoy it.
Awesome. Sasha, thank you so much. Guys, I know some people mentioned they couldn't hear. The shop is up, shop.almalinux.org. Go check it out. We really tried to make sure that everything is available worldwide, that the prices are reasonable, shipping is reasonable. We wanted to make sure that everyone everywhere gets their stuff. Someone mentioned about allowing crypto payments. We're looking into it, and we'll keep you guys updated. All right. Now, one last interview. James Whitehall, who's the CTO of OnApp. Guys, OnApp is a really cool cloud platform. They're also sponsoring this here today. They're helping sponsor all types of different things in the project. I recorded a short video with him about what they do. And really, they saw that we came out with a beta. They jumped on it. They put it on their servers, and they started making it available to their customers. So I'll let James tell you a little bit more about what they're doing for the project. Hey, everybody. I'm here with James Whitehall, CTO of OnApp. Hey, James. How are you?
Hey, Jack. I'm good. Thanks. Thanks for having me on the show here.
No, thanks for being part of our community and for everything that you're doing. So I guess, James, let's start off with a quick intro about what OnApp does.
Sure. So OnApp is a cloud management platform which powers our worldwide customer base of service providers. They're offering KVM and VMware-based cloud solutions, but we also have software-defined storage and CDN products, all of which allow those clients to thrive independently and together through our CDN and compute marketplaces.
Awesome. So, James, tell us a little bit more about what role CentOS played for you guys, and a little bit about what's going on now with you guys and AlmaLinux.
Sure. So CentOS has been pretty central to what we've done for the last 10 years, right the way from CentOS 5, 6, 7. It's been quite instrumental to our stack. So the change with CentOS has a big impact to us, and we were really interested to see what happened with the community with that news. So from our side, as soon as that beta became available, one of my team, this awesome guy named Yura, he took up the challenge to try and get that beta into the hands of our customers as quickly as possible. By the Friday night, the week it was released, with a little bit of help from our marketing team, we had a template created, tested, and available to use alongside a blog with a small how-to to promote the AlmaLinux efforts, I guess, the community, the efforts, the beta, because we know this feedback from real users is so crucial at that early stage.
Absolutely. So you guys are one of our earliest adopters.
We hope so. We certainly wanted to try and do something to help that momentum that you guys had early on here, right? You made such a fast start into this world, and to try and get that in the hands of others, so that it wasn't just us sending you some feedback, some others sending some feedback. We could really embrace our on-app customer base to try and do the same.
Awesome. And how has the customer feedback been so far? I hope everything positive.
Yeah, so we certainly had a number of customers that were using it, and a lot of them, not necessarily for production purposes at that stage, but to get their hands on it to see what it's like, right?
Yeah, sure.
For this stage of the moment where everyone knows what CentOS was like, everyone knows what RHEL is like, getting their hands actually on this thing, can it do all the things that they are using for their production workloads day to day? Starting to get a taster of it is really important, and hopefully it's placing things well for the GA and for the go live.
Yeah, so absolutely. So what's next for OnApp with AlmaLinux? What are you guys planning for the future?
So in the very short future, we've got a few things coming up. So actually, in the next few hours after the mirrors go live, we'll be doing 3 things, I'd say. So we'll release updated AlmaLinux OS templates for all existing OnApp clouds. We'll make AlmaLinux one of the small number of default templates which are added to all new OnApp clouds. And thirdly, we'll be adding AlmaLinux as a distro option when deploying new virtual servers from the new Essentials tier, which we've added to our Compute Federation just recently, which is now available to our Cloud.net customers, and will be available to all OnApp customers from our upcoming 6.5 release. So there's lots going on, especially in the short term. And we're trying to make sure that AlmaLinux gets out into the hands of those that want to adopt it and are ready to take those next steps forward with it.
Awesome. So you mentioned Cloud.net. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. It's kind of like you think. I'll try and keep it brief, but Cloud.net is a SaaS-based cloud platform for hosts, MSPs, or even private clouds. We're looking to reduce entry barriers, not only in terms of cost, but also setup time and therefore time to market. You'll get your own on-app control panel. You'll be able to spin up your first compute zone in less than an hour rather than the days or weeks that typically it would take to spin up new cloud infrastructure. Or even if you don't have your own servers, you can access global infrastructure from the many great providers on the OnApp Federation and basically be able to deploy instantly. So, within 15 minutes of signing up at cloud.net, you could be deploying your first virtual machine.
Awesome. And so AlmaLinux will be available for people to deploy as VMs really shortly after release, right?
It will be available, a few hours after the show finishes. So
I guess we're not the only ones that are going to be busy today, huh?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Sorry about that. Awesome. Well, James, if there's anything else you want to say, you're welcome to say it. Otherwise, I really thank you for your time. Thanks for all your efforts, and we really appreciate it. I know that many in the community appreciate it. And thanks again for being here.
No problem. I mean, just a bit of thanks from our side to everyone that's been involved into AlmaLinux so far. It's an incredible achievement to be where it is today so quickly. I'm glad we were able to play at least a small part here. So thanks for allowing us to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really awesome to see just the amount of support from the community, from corporate sponsors, from every imaginable angle you can imagine. And it's really thanks to guys like you that are helping build a really thriving ecosystem. So it's great to see, and we hope much success for you guys with cloud.net, and we hope to continue to go through this journey together.
Thank you so much, Jack. It's been awesome to catch up.
Awesome. Thanks, James.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, and thanks to OnApp for sponsoring here again today. And I just want to say, I've been in a lot of Zoom meetings and Google Meets and whatever it is. I don't think anyone has ever had a cooler background, either virtual or real, as what James has. So, James, that was wow. Thank you so much. Now, we know people have sent in lots of questions. Let me bring on Igor. Hey, Igor. And I'll bring on Eugene as well. Eugene, you still with us? I'll bring in Joao, and I'll bring on Simon. And let's go, guys. If you have any questions, now's the time to ask. We're about to release. Our mirrors are all coming online right now. I see some of them here already, and we're getting ready to do this. So I'm very excited, and let's go through some of the questions. So first question that I want to ask is secure boot support. Eugene, what can you tell me?
We are very close to get it done. We already arranged all those certificates, hardware, and so on. So we will submit a review request very soon. And then it just depends on Red Hat, on Microsoft. So I'm pretty sure we will get it to work in April.
Awesome. I'll send this question to Igor. This is actually a very important question. Igor, can you tell everyone about what types of commercial support will be offered around the release?
So the AlmaLinux Foundation is not planning to do a commercial support. We've spoke to several vendors, including Sirius Open Source and OpenLogic, that most likely will provide support for AlmaLinux. Cloud Linux as an entity might provide support as well. We're still looking at it and thinking about it. But the whole idea is to make it a community effort where there is multiple vendors that can provide commercial support for the distribution.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Igor. Let's see. Eugene, there's a question here about upgrading from the RC to stable. What do they need to do?
Oh, that's very simple. Just run the NF update and everything will be fine.
It's just as easy as that. A lot of people are asking about ISO size. The ISO will be available to download very shortly. We're running a few minutes behind schedule, but we got a lot of great information here today, so I don't feel too bad about that. What about cloud images, Eugene, as well?
We are going to update our background boxes today. We already built them and just need to upload. The rest of cloud boxes, we'll work on them during next weeks to get them published officially on AWS, Google Cloud, and so on. So yes, we are on the way to make those boxes available, but not yet.
Yeah, and some of that stuff is already up on the GitHub page. So if you guys are looking for that, stay tuned there. We'll also make announcements through the other channels. Let's see. Someone is asking if we're planning on forking RHEL 7.
I'll probably be the best to answer it. So one of the main issues with bringing in new distribution is getting vendor support. So each vendor has to onboard this distribution, create a build environment, change their code to detect the distribution correctly, make tests, etc. And it will be very hard to get it for something that has only 3 more years to live. So we have no plans to do AlmaLinux 7 for that reason. We just don't believe we can get vendors to adopt it.
Thank you so much, Igor. We have a question here about any official migration paths from Stream to AlmaLinux. Some people jumped the gun and already upgraded to Stream. So do we have an official migration path?
I will answer for this. Right now, it is not possible because, it's like a downgrade of the system and we need to test it very carefully. But we will try to make it work. I cannot promise it will be done because I don't control this process of CentOS Stream evolution, yes, but we will try to make it work for us.
Together with the community, I think we might be able to make something happen. And guys, this is where you play your part. We have another question. Is the Apple repo available as well as other third-party repos commonly used in CentOS?
Yes, of course. AlmaLinux is completely compatible with Red Hat, with CentOS systems. So everything that works on those operational systems, it should work on AlmaLinux as well. And we, of course, have Apple release package available. So you can just install it from our repositories and start using Apple without any problems.
Awesome. Someone is asking, will be available in the installer something similar to Red Hat CDN to make it easier to download the OS through internet without manually setting the repos?
Oh, so it's a good question. I'm not ready to answer yet.
Okay,
this is something we should think about, but...
Well, my hope is that it will be possible because we have a community who can help us to actually implement it. So it will be a community effort, but I don't see why we can't do something similar.
Thank you, Igor. Someone's asking about the end of life for this release. So we announced at least 2029, and we plan to stick to that. Let's see, what other questions do we have? We have a question on OpenStack. Will we have an OpenStack image?
It's a good question. Look, we don't have it pre-made for now, but our Packer templates are opened. They are available on our GitHub organization, and we already have a template for libvirt. So I think it would be really hard to adapt them for OpenStack as well. And this is something we are going to focus on April, yes, to make official OpenStack images available.
Awesome. We have another question about a Podman image. We already have Docker images, which is fully compatible with Podman out on the GitHub. So if you guys want to check that out, you can feel free to check that out. Let's see. Any other questions? Will the package sources other than the source RPM files be made public?
Yes, of course. All AlmaLinux sources are publicly available, and this is something we want to do every time.
All right. Do we have any more questions? I'll wait for another one or two. Phipps compliance. Do we plan on getting Phipps certified? I'll send that one to Igor.
Yes. So we want to get the Phipps compliance. It's something on our roadmap.
So we're working on Phipps, and we're also working on CIS as well for the security-minded out there. We will have those hopefully very soon. Any other questions? All right, I guess we'll leave it at that for now. Guys, if anyone wants to reach out to us, you can reach out to us on Reddit, on any of the other social networks, and we'll reach out to us on IRC. Guys, I want 100 people in the IRC channel today. Let's make it happen, and we'll be glad to answer all the questions there. If not, I'm gonna let these guys go because everyone is very, very busy. So thank you so much, guys. Eugene, see you. Noel, see you. Igor, see you. I'm going to bring on the mirrors. So mirrors, if you had trouble getting on before because we were full. Oh, Simon, thank you very much. All right, mirrors, are you guys here? Let's see. I see Alexander.
Good evening.
Alexander, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Jack?
Good, good. Nice to talk to you again. So tell everyone, where are you in the world today?
From Germany. I'm from Germany.
Germany, Deutschland. Good
Yes.
afternoon. How are you?
Fine,
Are you
still.
ready to
Thanks.
launch? Are you ready to launch?
Yes,
Are you
of
ready to
course.
launch? All right, thank you so much. Let's bring in David. David, how are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm good, I'm good. Where are you?
I'm in Jakarta, Indonesia.
Jakarta, Indonesia. Guys, this is a global project, man. We have people from all over the world. Let's bring in Paul. First of all, David, are you ready to launch? Is your mirror synced?
Sure.
All right. Paul, how are you?
Hi guys, everything fine?
Hi.
Hi. The guys in Ecuador, how are you?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
fine.
it's
And
fine.
you?
Fine.
Buenos dias. Are you ready to launch?
For
Buenos
sure.
dias.
Awesome. Let's bring on Desmond.
Hi.
How you doing?
Very good. Very good. Thank you.
Where are you located? Tell everyone.
In the Netherlands.
In the Netherlands. Guys, this is global, man. This is global. I'm feeling good. Let's
Yes.
bring in Mehmet. Mehmet, how are you?
Hey, I'm fine, thank you.
Where are
How
you?
about you? I'm from Turkey, ready
Oh,
to launch.
in Turkey. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Are you ready to launch?
Yes, we are ready to launch.
All right, let's bring in Yuki. Yuki from Japan. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. Are you ready to go?
Yes, I'm ready.
Awesome. Let's bring in Nur Ahmad. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Where are you located? Tell everyone.
Like you see in my flag here, I'm from Indonesia also, from Central
Indonesia.
Java.
Awesome. So before we do this, I just want to say thank you to everyone all around the world. Like you'd see, this is really a global effort. There are a lot of people involved on the corporate end, on the community end, everyone sponsoring everything and helping out with everything from hardware to their time. We have another mirror coming online. Let's see. Nuno, we can't see you. Hi, Nuno. How are you?
Hi.
Where
I'm
are
fine,
you?
thank you.
Where are you?
In Portugal.
Portugal. Oh, Joao would be proud. Guys, this is, this is everyone across the world. We really want to thank everyone on behalf of Cloud Linux, on behalf of the AlmaLinux OS Foundation, on behalf of really everyone involved in the project. Thank you so much. We look forward to continuing to work with the community. We want to bring everyone more events like this. Is everybody ready to count down?
Yes.
Yes, we
sure.
are
Ready.
ready.
Yes.
Let's go. Hey! I'm gonna start crying. I'm very emotional. I want to thank everyone. We had a few hundred people on the stream here. Thank you guys for being with us. This is Jack signing off. The bits are out there. Check out repo.almalinux.org. Check out the GitHub pages. Check us out on Reddit. Check us out on the other social channels. Get into IRC. We want to see you there. And thank you guys so much. And we look forward to continuing to work with the community to bring everyone the best OS that was ever released in history. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you so much to all the mirrors. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jack.
People
Thank
that
you, everyone.
participated. Thank you so much.
Great job.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.